Today we are going to do the experiment for this science center. Here we are going to measure the taper angle of any conical surfaces. So after the manufacture to the calculated angle, now we need to find out what is the actual angle of that particular component. Okay, the components will be like this way. You see here, this is a tapered component, so of conical surface. Here it is a bigger diameter, and this side it's a smaller diameter. Now we need to calculate this angle by using, so very accurately by using this sine center. This is a component which is used in conjunction with this slip gauges. Now here we are going to measure the angle in two different methods. One is as a conventional method of measuring this angle by using this vernier caliper, which is of least count 0.02 mm. Okay, so in this experiment the aim of this is to find out the angle of this conical surface. Now first let us find out the angle by using this vernier caliper. Now let us consider this angle. Okay, now I am going to measure this major diameter. Can you able to see this sketch here? This is the major diameter D. I will take it as D, so which will be shown in this particular tabular column, capital D. So that is a major diameter. So that will be is equal to find out by using this vernier caliper. Okay, 21, 22, 23.2. Okay, so 23.2 mm. Okay, now I am going to calculate this smaller diameter. Let us find it out how much it is. 12.72. So small d is 12.72, and the angle tapered length. So let us find it out by using this method. So it's an approximate method only. So that's why we are going to measure this angle by using this sine center. Actually, we need to calculate it by using vernier height gauge, but here I am going to measure it by using this itself, by the depth bar. See how much it is. It will be around 56.5. Let us consider it as a 56.5. So this is small l. Okay, now I need to calculate this angle. So how much it is? Half of the taper angle, so theta. Now I am going to find out theta. So consider this small triangle ABC. I need to calculate this theta. Now you just observe here. So this is equal to small d, right? So this is a bigger diameter, smaller diameter. Now if you are going to consider this triangle ABC, right, which is shown in this one, this is the theta. What is AB? That we need to find out. The total diameter, that is a bigger diameter minus smaller diameter, then you are going to get this plus this. Okay, so I am going to call it as DH. So DH is equal to, this is nothing but BC is small l, right? So DH is equal to, so capital D minus small d by 2, right? Now by considering the tan principle, tan theta is equal to DH by L. So tan theta is equal to DH by small l. So now how to calculate theta? Theta is equal to DH. Theta is equal to tan inverse of DH by L. We know L. How to calculate DH? Already we have taken the measurements. D is 23.2 minus 12.72 by 2. Just calculate it. Okay, now after the calculation, I got the DH as 5.24 mm. Now you see, put that value in this equation. So theta is equal to tan inverse of DH by L. Finally, we are going to get the theta in terms of this degree, 5 degree, 17 minute and 55 second. So this is what the theoretical method of measuring the angle. Now we are going to measure the same angle by using sine center and with the help of this slip gauges. Okay, so this is the what side we have considered. Now I am going to fix it here. Okay, just observe here, these are the two centers. I am going to fix this component, so within these two centers. Okay, see here, and of course we have to do like this way. Why? Because here this side we can't raise it. Okay, so that's why you just observe here. So this side only we need to place the slip gauges, because here we can tilt like this way. So the tiltation will be more here in this side. So you can have this sense by seeing this one. You see, it is extended. Okay, that's why wherever we are going to measure, whatever the angle we are measuring, that side should be placed towards the right side. Okay, so where the projection is more, there we need to place our there is a measuring side. Okay, so this should be placed in between the two centers. See, okay, now it is fixed. Now by using dial gauge we need to raise this one. Possible. Okay, dial gauge. Okay, now we have calculated this theoretical theta as 5 degree, 17 minutes and 55 seconds. So here I have written here, this is the serial number 1, that is for one module we have done this one. Taper length is, this length is 56.5, here in the tabular column I have written, and bigger diameter, this is what, 23.2, and smaller diameter is 12.72, and DH, this DH we found out by using this formula, and that will be 5.24. So after the calculation I got this, in this calculation I got this value as 5 degrees, 17 minutes and 55 seconds. The same thing I have written here also. See, D and small d, DH is there, and this is what the theoretical taper angle. Now this is a simple way of calculating the angle, but more accurate method of calculating the same angle by using this science center in conjunction with the slip gauges and dial gauge. The dial gauge here we are using, that is the least count of that is 0.01 mm. Okay. Now I need to place this side, extended side of this science center towards the left side. There only I have to get this measuring side of this conical component. Now you see this here we are going to place the slip gauges. Why? Because just observe here. Here, of course, here we are placing the slip gauges, because you see this is at the lesser height, this end, and this is more heighter than this one. Now if we are going to raise this side, this surface will become parallel to the reference plane, that is a surface plate. Now to what extent I need to raise this one? The same extent, the same angle, which is the angle of this half taper angle of this particular component. To the same angle I need to raise this one. How to raise this one? To a specific height by using this slip gauges. Okay. Now for that we need to place the slip gauges here. For that we need to get an approximate height of the slip gauge required to raise this side. I have calculated by using one formula is there. You see, approximate height of the slip gauges used. Okay. To be used, that is H approximate is equal to DH into capital L. This is the center distance between these two rollers. It's a standard. It will be 200 mm, and divided by square root of DH square plus small l square. Small l square is nothing but the taper length of that component. Okay. After the substitution, you see 5.24 DH is there. 200 divided by square root of the same DH square plus 56.5 small l. That is the taper length. So I have got the answer as H approximate is 18.46. I got 18.46. I am going to write it here. If you don't calculate also, nothing to worry. But we require more trials if you don't calculate this H approximate. Now H actual will be around this H approximate. So it is somewhere more or less it will be nearer to this 18.46. 18.46 is there. So by using the same formula I have calculated. Okay. Now you see theoretical angle is there. Now we need to find out the actual height of the slip gauge required. Okay. Now can you able to see this sketch here? Initially in this position it is. This is the component workpiece. It is placed between the two centers. Now this side, as it is inclined to the reference plane, okay, now we need to rise on this side. This side should be raised. That means this angle, whatever the angle we need to raise this one, the angles will be same, it will be equal to the theta only. Now you see, so this is equal to theta. To that theta we need to raise this one. Now H, we have got the H approximate. And what is the use of this dial gauge here? If you move the dial gauge over this surface, the dial gauge is going to show you the deviations. Now in this condition you see it is in the raised condition, that is in the inclined position. Now if I am going to move this one, just observe here. So this dial gauge is a magnetic base. Okay, so if I am going to place this dial gauge here, so plunger is touching the lower end. Okay, if I am going to move this one like this way, you see it will be rotating in the clockwise direction. Our aim is to get zero deviation here. That means it should be still. If this surface is exactly parallel to the base, there will not be any deviations here. It will stood still. Okay, but in this case it is now rotating because this area, this surface is rising. Okay, because this is at the lower height and this end of the conical surface is in the raised position. Okay, now we need to make this surface parallel to the surface plane. Now for that we have to use the slip gauges calculated. Okay, theoretical slip gauges, that is 18.46 is there. Okay. Okay. We have calculated approximate height of the slip gauge to be used as 18.46. Simply I used to take 18. Let us see what happens. Alright. Afterwards it is a trial and error method. Alright. 10 plus 8. Two slip gauges I have taken. I am going to ring them together. Right. Now I am going to place it below this one. Okay. Below this side. And let us see here. I am going to place this dial gauge. I am going to move this dial gauge. Just observe the dial gauge. It is moving the pointer in the clockwise direction. That means still this surface is at more heighter than this surface. So this end. So now it is indicating that somewhat more length has to be put here. That is more length. This slip gauges has to be placed in this side. So 18 is not enough. Okay. Let's start. Okay, after the trial we have concluded that 18 is not enough. That's why let us move on to 19. Okay, directly I will move on to 19. Let us see. If it is more, we will come back. Now 10 plus 9 it is there. I am going to stick them together. That is a ringing phenomenon is there. Now you see I am going to place this 19 here below this side. And let us move this dial gauge over this one. Still it is rising. That is indicating that still more length is required to rise this side. Okay, so I will be going for next height. Okay, right. Let us move on to 20. Directly I will move on to 20. Let us see it. So it's a 20 mm slip gauge. I am going to place it here. Okay, see here I am going to place it below this one. Now let us move the dial gauge over this surface. Now you see it is just fluctuating. So that is because of the surface error, surface roughness. So we can approximately we can take 20 mm. If we are having sufficient time, we can go for 19 plus this side. Then we will be getting a very accurate. So that means this pointer will be almost all behaving like a locked in this position. But as the surface error is there, because it is a machined surface, this is enough. Okay. So we can take 20 mm, so this side as actual height of the slip gauge. Now you can see this one, this sketch, this is what the experimental setup. You see, I have raised this surface. So here is the dial gauge I need to place. You see, dial gauge is there. So right, I am going to move this one. There should not be any deviation in the dial gauge. Okay, the dial gauge is behaving like it is this surface is parallel to this, what is this? Surface plate. Now how much height we have used here? So this will be H actual is, so that is equal to 20 mm. Now you will hear one logic is there. Just observe here. Can you able to see this one triangle here? A, B, C. I'm going to write it here. Right? A, B, C. The same triangle. It's an imaginary triangle. Now you see, what is the length of AB? It is 200 mm. Distance between the two centers, two rollers. Distance between the centers of two rollers, and BC is equal to how much? That is what we need to get it here, BC. Now here we got the H actual as 20, but what is BC now? BC is also is equal to 20. Why? Because you see, so how much is this one? This is equal to radius of this roller. Here in this length, H actual length, if you subtract this radius, the same radius of the other roller will be added here. That's why, so this is also equal to H approximate, H actual only. Okay, 20. I'm going to take it as 20. This is the angle which is equal to the half taper angle of the component. Component is here. The component's theta is equal to this theta. To what angle the sine center is raised, tilted, the same angle. That's why this surface has parallel to this one. Now you see in this triangle, the experimental method of calculating the theta, let us find it out. Okay, here if you use sine theta is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. So 20 by 200. So theta is equal to sine inverse of 20 by 200. Now let us find it out by using this calculator. Just 20 by 200. So that is equal to 0.1 I am going to get. So that is the sine inverse of theta. Okay, shift of sine. Right, see. So what is the angle? So theta is equal to 5 degree, 44 minute and 21 second. This is the experimental method of calculating theta. So in the manual I am going to write it here. Actual taper angle, theta actual, that is sine inverse of what we have calculated, that is equal to 5 degree, how much it is? 44 minute and 21 seconds. So this is what the error between theta actual and theta theoretical. So now you see I can write it here itself. So 5 degree, 44 minute, so 21 seconds. So minus of 5 degree, 17 minute, 55 seconds. Now how to calculate it? Now here you see this second is lesser when compared to this one. I am going to borrow 1 minute towards this side. I can write it also 5 degree, 43 minute, and here 60 plus, that is 81 seconds. Okay, here 5 degree, same it is 17 minute, 55 seconds. So now what is the error here? 81 minus 55 means 81 minus 55. So how much? 26 minute. Sorry, 26 second. Next to 43 minus 17, that is a minute. 26 minute. So this is 0 degree. Right? The error is equal to 26 minute and 26 seconds. Here I can write it as error 26 minute and 26 seconds. You can write it 0 degree also. Here also you can write down. So approximate height of the slip gauge. So how much we have taken? So 18.46. But what is the actual height of the slip gauge we have used? So 20 mm. So actual taper angle 5 degree and actual taper angle 44 minute and 21 second. Okay. So error is 0 degree, 26 minute and 26 seconds. This is what for one component we have done. Like the same way you can do it for the other conical surfaces. So thank you all. This is what about the calculation of any tapered angle of any conical surfaces. So very accurately by using this arrangement, that is sine center with the slip gauges and this dial gauge. Okay. Thank you all. This is about the experiment.